Hi guys, so I'm down dimmocks pit and I've decided to start doing vlogs on my sessions down here. So basically one of the best rigs I like people to use down here is very, very simple. Okay, and I use this for Tench and the Carp. And what happens is people forget the margins. Okay, they seem to think they've got a bash out in the middle. It's a very weedy lake. With the Tench and the Carp, they hang around in a weed with their backs out or digging in, grabbing a natural bait. So the best thing is to present some bait next to it. I highly recommend a good ant for the maggots and sort of corns to get it going. What I use is a foot or so of tungsten tubing, and it's quarter, into a 2-ounce inline lead, quick change, and I use, and it depends if it's quite silky. I tend to do my fishing like this, so I change the length of the hair. So sometimes I might have it 6 inches. If I'm weedy and silky, I might even go to sort of 12 inches. So what happens is the lead itself plummets in the deck, bosh, and then this is what you set on the deck. So if you have it weighted and balanced lovely, it just gently falls down and sits. So down to how do I do it? It's barbless raw only down here. So what I tend to use is use size 4 crank with a kicker. Great little kicker with shrink tube. Put a little snowman rig which balances and this wafts us down. But then I load the shank with maggots. Yeah, you get a couple of bibs from the annoying little fish, but what happens is it attracts the bigger. Remember, it's a natural lake, so a lot of the fish here are used to sort of natural baits, bugs, worms, grubs, and that's what helps. So basically, what I've started doing is I flick it out in front of me, throw a few handfuls of maggots, and see what happens. When people can't fish down here, or any sort of big fish fishing, they seem to think they need to be in the middle of the lake. I'm literally 3 foot out on a reed line, and it fizzes, it moves. You see the carp coming in and out. It's crazy. People forget with little weedy lakes, little weedy venues, the margin is always a good way to go. And all that fizzing resulted in Mr. Terence. Of course guys, with all the little videos I do and the tricks I do in my angling, you know, it's how I do it. We all end up doing our own little methods. The biggest advice I can give anyone when fishing is to spend some time on the water, just walking around, checking things out. And the more you know about the water, the more you know about its characteristics. And when you learn its characteristics and how things work, and sort of times when fish are moving around and different substrates and how things sort of work with your baits and your rigs, because it changes yearly. Really, you know, on my lake it changes bloody yearly. And then on top of that, you know, you'll know how to weed lay lies and things like that. And experiment with your rigs. Biggest thing I've learned over the past 34 years of fishing is that you get to a point in your life that you realise what kind of angler you are. There's some of us that sit on a big pit and spod the hell out of it and are happy to bivvy up and stay there for days and days. And there's others that are like me that take a light setup and like to roam around. So once you decide what, don't try and be an angler which you see on TV. Don't try and be your Danny's. Don't try to be your Allens. Be you. Do what makes you feel comfortable. It gives you a good time fishing, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Anyway, guys, take care. I'm wrapping up.